Good morning, everyone. I want to do a video this morning and just give you an update on some things the Lord has been doing personally in me, but I also have a word to give you this morning that He gave me yesterday. And just want to share a couple of things because they're important, just to let you know that the Lord has been working in me and bringing me to a place of readiness. And on May 27th, He gave me a dream, and sometimes in my dreams I'll have a vision inside of the dream, and when this happens, it's like my spirit wakes up in the dream, so I'm in a different frame of mind or place. And in this, on May 27th, I had a dream, I had a vision inside of the dream, and I was with a man who I believe represents Jesus Christ. And I've shared with you guys before that when I have a person in my dream where I know their name, the Lord has me look it up and I know the message that He's trying to convey. And in this dream, I was with a man I believe was Jesus Christ. And the man's name meant noble, courageous, famous bearer. I looked him up in the sky, and what I saw was a drawing or a blueprint of a city. And I saw this vision twice, and it just woke up all my senses, and I believe the blueprint or drawing was the city of Jerusalem. So that was on May 27th. On May 29th, I asked the Lord to give me a dream, to please give me a dream to let me know what time frame we were in, or what time frame I was in. I've shared before that I am an electrician by trade. I've done commercial work. I'm in a union, so I'm familiar with many phases of that particular type of work. And in this dream, I was walking somewhere. It was a very pleasant walk. I remember the sun was shining brightly, and it was almost surreal how beautiful it was. And I wound up in a group of state office buildings. I used to work in an area like that. It was a large complex of state offices. And in this dream, I was actually working with a man whose name means watchful, famous bearer. Now, we know that Jesus bore our sins, so this famous bearer I know is Jesus Christ. So it was a different man, but the same meaning. So I knew I was with Jesus, and he was my supervisor. He was laying out the work that I needed to do, and he was moving very quickly as if he had a lot to do and he had a short time to do it in. He gave me my instructions and then he left. I was getting ready for a wire pull. Now, a wire pull is where you use individual wires and you pull them through a conduit. I was getting ready for a wire pull, and I needed some type of a crimp on the end of one of the wires. I don't know what kind of crimp it was. You wouldn't normally put a crimp on a wire before you pull it through a conduit, but in this instance, for some reason, I had to put a crimp on this wire, and I could see it in my mind, and it was like a gold-looking crimp. I didn't have the tool that I needed, so I looked in Jesus' toolbox. It was a heavy red metal toolbox. And I got the tool out of the box, and I turned and I saw the wires that I was going to be pulling laying on the ground. And the wires were blue and black. Now that goes along with the dream that I had, that I shared in my video the other day, where I was given a ring, and the ring was half blue and half black, which I believe is why the Lord brought me back to that dream recently. The wires were also a number 12 wire, and they were solid as opposed to stranded wire. And number 12, actually, the meaning and purpose is of a governmental authority, a completeness or perfection, and the authority given to mankind by God. We know there were 12 apostles. So anyway, this wire was on the floor, and I knew that I needed to pull it through this conduit. The conduit was already run. So anyway, as I was preparing to do this wire pull, a man came along, and he was a tall man, and he had silvery white hair. He, looked older, like a grandfatherly type of man. He was very pleasant, very friendly, and he was asking me about the work that I was doing. I don't remember his exact questions, but he seemed like a father type to me, and so I know that it was God the Father. And he asked me if I was up to the job that I was given, and I said I was. And as I was talking to him, I had the knowledge that behind him was the electric closet, and in the closet were the panels that I was going to be pulling this wire through the conduit to the panels. Now, the electric panels, of course, are the source of power, and as I was waking up, I heard a female voice say to me, edema. I did not know what edema was, but I found out it's a name, and this name means noble and renowned. Now, I believe she was telling me my new name. I don't want to sound proud or anything, but that's what I believe she was saying to me. So that dream gave me an idea of where we are as far as time frame. I believe the blue and the black wire represent the work that I am called to do, but it's not only me. I'm not sharing this for my glory or to do anything for me, but to let you guys know how soon we are to being empowered. Those of us who have been called, that we will be transformed and we will be endued with power. And so it's coming very soon. I know the time frame, because of the scope of the work that I was doing, it's not going to be very long at all. So I received a word yesterday morning, and again the Lord's presence rose up in me, and this is what he said. And I hesitate putting this word out, but I have to put this word out, even if I look like a fool after I get this word out. But this is what I believe he said. And please take this to the Lord for confirmation. It's an exciting word, but again, I feel a little bit hesitant putting it out there. He said, "Write, daughter, call for a fast. Call together an assembly of my people. Consecrate yourselves, for I come. The day is at hand. Put on your robes of righteousness. Speak it forth. The King of glory will come down to destroy the wicked. I am the ruler over all. There is no God like I. I will rule and reign over this earth. I created it for myself, a place where man could walk with me and talk with me. I will not be controlled by anyone. Now it springs forth, my power, my rule, and my reign. I will not be moved." So it seems that we're very close to his appearing, and I asked him to confirm this word to me, and I believe this is what he gave me. The first one is in Isaiah chapter 17, starting with verse 7. "At that day shall a man look to his Maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. And he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made, either the groves or the images. In that day shall his strong cities be as a forsaken bough, and an uppermost branch, which they left because of the children of Israel, and there shall be desolation. Because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, and hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shalt set it with strange slips. In the day shalt thou make thy plant to grow, and in the morning shalt thou make thy seed to flourish. But the harvest shall be a heap in the day of grief and of desperate sorrow. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. And behold, at evening tide, trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. And the second one he gave me is in Isaiah chapter 5. Now will I sing to my beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. And he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked at it, should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes? And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste, it shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. I would encourage you to read the rest of that chapter. But anyway, I believe this is from the Lord. Please seek him for confirmation. Love you guys, and it looks like we'll be seeing each other soon. God bless. Bye.